Hey team, Will Cobb here, and welcome to Film Friend Fridays. This is the show where we interview different Instagram film photographers and we talk with them about their process, about what they love to do, and their incredible photos that they share on Instagram. Today on the show we have Liam Marshall, the occasional photographer, and we're gonna be talking with him about this incredible Blade Runner shot that he took that just captures this mist that I was just so captivated by when I was scrolling through Instagram. So instead of just gawking at his photos on Instagram, let's call him up and talk about his incredible film photography. Let's do it. All right, what up, Liam? How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. You're the occasional photographer, and I discovered you recently, and I was really blown away by some of the personality that you had in your photos. Something about just like the characteristic of just kind of being there in the moment, and definitely the one that you just posted of, is this a friend of yours?
Yeah.
When did you post this one? Yesterday?
Yeah, this was yesterday. Yeah.
Something about that portrait like really like blew my mind. Like it really is his emotion, the lighting. Like tell me about that one for a second. Like what was going on there?
Well, that is one of my. We're friends. We both went to the same acting program. That's primarily what I do. So photography is kind of like my baby to support my acting.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the film stock I used was Kodak Color Plus. As I'm like trying to build my small business, I've been trying to figure out ways of like how to expand my portfolio and the kind of work that I want to do. So reached out to him, planned to shoot. We went down to the lake, just to it's called the Sunnyside Boardwalk, just here in Toronto. It was kind of just spontaneous. Probably just around golden hour as we were finishing up. So it was one of the last few shots that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I'd been shooting on my medium format, so I'm shooting with a Bronica SQ. And then I don't know. A lot with this shoot was just, we would walk and we'd be talking, we'd be sharing stories, and then somehow the light would just catch in a certain way, and I would just see, and go like, okay, hold on one second, we need to take a photograph right now.
Yeah.
So as we were getting to I think it was the Sunnyside Pavilion, there's this dock that just extends out into the lake. And so the sun's going down, and there's just like this faint little bit of golden light that's just hitting this spot because the sun's practically almost gone at this point. And so I just whip out my camera and just immediately grab it as soon as I could. Some of the other shots didn't turn out, but yeah. Fortunately, I've been able to shoot some people that I think they share a lot. I think that's the one thing that's always interesting is how much of somebody can share just like in their eyes. So yeah.
And totally, definitely. So this one was one that like really, so when I discovered you through the other one we're going to talk about, like this one was just like, I could feel that. There was a story there, there was that emotion, and the lighting of the fall off on the shadows. Yeah. Like it's not like a harsh black, it's just like this fall off. And that's just like that perfect gold.
Like the colors came out like so tangy, like it's almost like you can kind of like taste them, which is exactly what I was trying to at least aim for with this shoot in particular. And this, I think, I mean, some of them didn't come out particularly in focus, but I think in the end, it's like of all the shots, like this one and a couple of others made it worth it. So
yeah. Well, it's so good. So backing up, obviously we're already diving in, but tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do for the day-to-day, and what is photography to you, film photography to you?
Well, right now with the current climate of things, I don't have a job.
Man.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm taking it as a really big opportunity for me to really develop myself artistically. And so that means both pursuing my career as an actor, but then also taking this hobby that I've been doing for the last 10 years almost since high school, and just kind of going with it instead of just calling it a hobby, just making a real business out of it. And hopefully uh, I'll be in a place where I can use that to support my acting, and I get to do something that's a little bit more creative and personal. But yeah, doing it since, well, I've been doing film photography since grade 10 in high school. I think I always thought of it like as I can just capture these moments as
Yeah.
they appear. Um, but I think it's more than just capturing what things look like, it's more what they feel like to me. And if I can somehow get that in the image, that's like the most rewarding thing. And with film, it's the whole process. I like the idea that, I've either got 24, 36, or 12 shots, and um, they they might turn out, they might not. It really
Yeah.
just depends. But I think storytelling is like the biggest thing for me, and
Yeah.
photography is just one of those mediums that I think I can do that quite effectively. And
Hmm.
uh, so far, it's working out, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So this is your occasional photographer page. Do you have another page, or do you work under like your own label, or?
Yeah, so I've had like my personal Instagram account probably since like 2013. And when I was going through university, I went to OCAD here in Toronto for fine arts, but I did a specialization in printmaking, so I was more working with my hands. I was screen printing and I was relief printing. Um, and then things shifted, and I had a completely different idea of what I really wanted to do. So
Mhm.
then I graduated, and then I didn't do anything for like a year or so. And then I decided it's about time and I should get into acting. Uh, but the photography stayed with me throughout. Like I didn't stop.
Yeah.
Um, that was just like one of those passion projects that sort of like, I think, sustained me when other things couldn't. But that personal account I've had for the longest time. And so now I'm trying to branch out from this sort of account that's like for myself and my friends to something that uh, I guess has a larger community impact, I guess, or
Yeah.
base to it.
Yeah. More tailored.
Yeah, is something that's a little more contained.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. I mean, I can see your artistic like skill laying it all out, and it's really awesome.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Thank you.
Well, so going into photography, so do you shoot more than just film? Do you also shoot digital too?
I'm only just starting to get into digital now.
Okay.
I did recently just make an investment, and I got myself one of the Sony mirrorless cameras.
Okay.
Um, it's just, as much as I love film photography, I don't know how I can sustain myself for a long period of time and make that accessible to more people.
Yeah.
At least from like, it's hard. I don't really know how to run a small business, so I'm still trying to figure that out. But
Yeah.
digital seemed like a decent move to sort of
Mm.
counter the weight of how much it costs for the purchasing of film and then development as well, because
Yeah.
more expensive as the days go by.
Yeah, yeah. We use the Sony systems as well, and so we started with Sony A7 threes. Uh, yeah, so we got a pair of those, and that's what we run for our wedding photo and film. But actually, I'm the opposite. I'm going into film. I love it. Well, it's slowing me down, and you probably heard from the other interviews. But yeah, it's slowing me down, making me focus a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like, what do you think initially drew you to it? Was it just the art form, or what drew you to picking up film?
I mean, the first experience in high school and photography class, we had a dark room, so it was the process of shooting. I mean, I think the first project we ever did was we had to make our own pinhole cameras. Um,
Yeah,
so it was going out, shooting and experimenting and hoping that the pinhole camera you made worked, and then going into the dark room and developing it. And I think that whole process really drew me in because there was no real guarantee that no matter how much you put into it, it would work out. But man, when it does work out, oh, it's so rewarding.
That's awesome.
And I've just stuck with it. I don't know, maybe it's like a sentimentality thing. I
Okay.
don't know. Maybe I'm like a little old in my heart for just liking analog a lot.
Yeah, I think there is that nostalgic piece where not only do the images kind of look a little grainy, they look a little old and because of the film stocks and stuff, but also that like hands-on a touch, the actual like you're in the dark room, you're the one developing it. I mean, yeah, a lot of our viewers are going to be, you know, sending it off to labs, but a lot of us are also developing by ourselves. And that just hands-on, tangible touch seems to be something that really draws, like you were saying, the process. Like, I think that really is something that draws us to it.
I think it's also even what like you're touching on is the idea of just like slowing things down.
Yeah.
I think I like having that restriction of there's only a certain set number of frames that I have, so I have to be a lot more considerate about how I frame things, how things are lighted, and then how I expose. So I think that's more engaging to me to be forced to be more thoughtful and considerate of how I'm taking my images versus, you know, I can just put my digital camera and just hold the button, you know,
Yeah.
40 images in less than like 5 seconds sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean has its benefits. Like
Yeah.
digital is like hugely beneficial, but I'm always just going to be a huge suck for film forever.
Yeah,
Hopefully
for
they
sure.
don't stop making it.
I hope so too. I actually really hope that like some camera company just comes out with like a new like film camera. Aside from Leica, like it would be so cool if Phase One, who bought Mamiya, like just decided that they want to start coming out with their own film line again. You know, I think you can still get the film backs for the Phase One or something like that, but
Can you?
I want to say you can. I know not too long ago you could still get the Mamiyas with a film back, like the autofocus ones, but
Yeah.
and then the Hasselblad, right? That new fancy Hasselblad that's like $50,000.
I haven't seen. I don't want to.
I don't want to look at that.
Yeah, I know. I saw like Fujifilm released like it was like a full frame medium format camera. I think it was also mirrorless.
Yeah.
$15,000 just
Yeah.
for the body, but like
Insane.
it shoots insanely like beautiful quality of images,
Yeah.
so crisp, and I'm just like, I'll stick to film. I think
Yeah.
I still believe that you can get some better, you can get some better images out of film. I don't know.
For sure.
Maybe I'm a little naive, but I like to think that I can.
No, I mean, I totally feel that. I was borrowing a friend's RZ. The detail on that thing, like, because I've shot on a couple other film cameras, and I was like, why is the detail so crazy on this? It's just the most massive negative, and it was awesome. So what's your main camera that you run around with, that you gravitate towards?
I've been using my Bronica quite a lot. I've got a Bronica SQ, so I think it's like 6x6 is the size. I don't know. I just like the fact that the film itself is so much bigger. I think it just makes it more convenient. So if I want to blow up the image a little bit bigger, I mean, if I ever decide to make prints, which I've kind of been dancing around with, that's super convenient. Right now, either the Bronica or it's the Nikon FE that I've been using.
Okay, cool.
Just an upgrade from my Ricoh, which I still love. It's just the one lens doesn't work that well anymore, so I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm loving. I actually just picked up a Bronica SQ AI. It's awesome. I got it for $15. It was amazing.
Well, you got it for $15?
Yeah.
Where?
There's a surf photographer locally that was he was getting rid of the body, and he's like, "This doesn't work. Just selling the body for 15." And I was like, "All right, sure, I'll look at it." And it was just the battery leads weren't touching right, so I put a little piece of like paper in there, got it working, and then I bought a 220 back for it for $15. So 220, it's supposedly the pressure plate's not the same, but it works perfectly. And then I had a rebate, like $100 rebate I got, and I just turned around and bought an 80mm lens for it. So I guess technically it was $30, but I love the thing. It's amazing. I don't have a viewfinder for it,
Oh, you don't
So
wait. You don't.
I just look down the hole and cover up the light. I makeshifted a viewfinder for it, but it doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
But no, I love that camera. I've shot 2 rolls through it, and everything I've shot through it is amazing. I'm not used to the square format though.
Yeah, it's tough. It's also difficult with the fact that it reverses the image as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes framing, I mean, it makes it interesting. I think I like that aspect to it, but
Yeah.
man, $30?
Yeah.
Cameras at like cheap prices are like the best.
It's the best finds. Yeah, I'm considering buying the actual finder for it, but they're crazy. They're like $200.
Mm,
But I was thinking like that camera's worth like 600 maybe, so it'd be worth buying that.
yeah. K cameras has sometimes they have some pretty decent deals. I think you can like almost finance stuff there as well pretty cheaply. But I mean that's where I picked up my Bronica. So
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the photo that I found you on. I like to just surf the Instagram handles and all this stuff and all the hashtags, and I just discovered this amazing shot of yours. And I think even you said something about it being, oh no, you did. You hashtag Blade Runner. When I saw it, I thought that even before I clicked on it. It's just so good. So tell me about this shot. How did you get this? What's going on? What camera did you take?
man, I think this must have been spring, like early spring 2017 or late fall 2018. I don't remember when exactly, but I think it was probably the fall. That's usually when Toronto starts to get a little bit foggy, but I'm pretty sure it was a late night of drinking with some friends at a bar, heading home. Yeah, and I mean, I usually pack at least one camera with me every time I go out, just in case, because sometimes you see something and you just go like, "Oh, I wish I had my camera." So I like the feeling of like, I do have my camera. It's on me.
Yeah.
So this is Toronto's Union Station, so it's like the biggest like train station in Toronto, but it also connects the subway and all the buses. But on the street level, there's a lot of really old buildings. So obviously, well, not obviously, but the building that's lit up is the Fairmont Royal York Hotel, which has this like really huge and like beautiful old sign that they still use. Um, I don't, there's other shots that I got from that night, but just looking around, I immediately saw this and I was like hoping and I was fingers crossed that somehow what I was seeing was going to come through. And it did. I mean, just the way the lights kind of like illuminating all the like little droplets of like mist. I mean,
And you even have that green glow on the bottom too, from either another sign or a street light or.
yeah, I don't even, it's got to be from one of the, I think there might be almost like a big LED screen somewhere down on another street. But man, it's like some of my favorite shots end up being the ones that I don't ever think are ever going to turn out, or I just see immediately and go like, oh, I have to take a photo of this, and then it does.
Yeah.
There's a couple more that I have like that, but like that shot, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, your other work is incredible too, but that was the one that kind of like just, I don't know, maybe maybe people watching this won't agree with me, but I absolutely love just that glow on the water droplets. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, I've been really captivated by, and you were using Cine still, just like that glow that people are getting from it, and yours was just like perfect. You even have the windows glowing. It's so good.
I don't know if it's terrible for me to agree with you so much, but it's like I genuinely love that image. It's nice.
What would you say is your kind of philosophy of composing something? Is it just like, I see that, I'm kind of just naturally artistically finding it? Or what are you doing when you're thinking about, I want to get this shot? Like, what is your process there?
I think there's a lot of spontaneity that goes into my process, if I can even say I have a process.
Sure.
And then I just kind of fall back on the sort of principles that I've figured out over time. Generally, when I see something and that it's like a pinch and an ouch. I see something and it pinches me, and then I react and I go, oh, I have to take this photograph. And then once I get to pulling out my camera and I start looking at it, I guess it's about framing things in a way that's, I guess, aesthetically pleasing, and then trying to figure out how to expose it so it's close to what I'm seeing, but if anything, it's more representative of how I'm feeling in that moment. I don't know. I kind of consider like most of the photography I do as sort of a memory bank for just how I feel in those moments. Because it's I like the idea that I can go through my entire library and I can pull something up and then I go like, oh, I remember this, and that. While I may not remember specific details, I certainly remember how I felt in the moment. And I guess that's the sort of leading principle, is just capturing feelings as honestly as I can. I don't like manipulating things as much.
Yeah.
I mean, I will if like an image is underexposed or something.
Yeah.
I will try.
I love that thought process, that it's capturing that moment. Nev was talking about that in his interview, where it's an actual physical medium, you know? The lens is open, it's hitting that negative, you know, and it's actually creating something in that moment. It's a literal capture rather than ones and zeros on a digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could completely explain it. I can't. Like, I just think it's easier for me to tell stories with film.
Yeah. Okay.
With digital. I
No.
guess about the easiest way to put it.
So is there anyone, like any other photographers out there or anything specifically that inspires you?
There's one account that I keep finding myself going back to, Riverside Blues, I think it is. I think they're based in the UK. They have a lot of portraits, but the colors that they keep getting are like stunning. I'm not 100% sure if everything they do is digital or film, but I mean, it's like, I think it's like the cinematic look.
Yeah.
Like when you can make real life look like a movie sort of thing. I like that. Otherwise, there's, I think it's Tommy Mitchell Photo or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of accounts that I follow. I don't ever memorize names, but I'll just see them and I'll just go like, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm looking for. And then I like
found
type
it.
things out.
Oh, so do you like take it with you? Like when you're out there, like you think about those shots, or?
Well, I like catalog everything.
Okay.
The last two shoots I've done, I've sort of created these like mood boards based off of stuff that I found. So usually I just like scroll through my catalog and I start thinking about like, what does this person look like? What's the sort of story I'm interested in telling with them? And then what do I have in my catalog that sort of fits the shape of that? And I go, this is my general idea of what we could do. It doesn't ever really go that way though. So it feels like I do all this planning and then it's just whatever happens in the moment sort of seems to be the thing that takes the most control, I guess.
Yeah. No, I love that mentality. And I think that's a great tip for anyone watching, like to create those mood boards. Do you do that on Instagram or do you like do Pinterest, or what do you do? Like, do you do the thumbnail thing, the bookmarking?
I've got like I do. I've got like catalogs in Instagram, but then sometimes I also just screenshot the ones that I really, really like that stand out the most.
Yeah.
And then I'll create subfolders on my computer. But then there's a website called like moodboardgo.com or something that you can just input images and then you can create a link that's like public.
Cool.
I mean, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. If anything, it's just I think about like what sort of I'm struggling a lot now on how to pose people.
Yeah. That's hard.
Cataloging stuff, trying to figure out like what poses could I work with, but I mean it's different with every person you shoot because some people just naturally know where to place themselves. So
yes, I definitely struggle with that too. I think anything that I'm categorizing, it's posing. Some people are just really good at it.
Yeah, they like you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
I think with the most recent photograph with Nick, I didn't have to really tell him to do much. I was like, just go stand over there sort of thing. Just slightly tilt your head and then he'll do something. And I'm like, that's perfect. And then just capture it. So,
yeah. Well, before we go with you, do you have anything that you wanted to shout out? Anything that you're working on right now that you wanted to plug in this moment?
I guess only my account.
Yeah, for sure.
Go follow the occasional photographer
Yeah.
on Instagram. I also have a website. I do have a movie coming out in December called Cup of Cheer, or A Cup of Cheer. They had to change the name now. You can find them on Instagram as well. I don't know. There's a little baby project I got working on at the moment that's going to take some time, but hopefully I'll have that out and ready in the next like 2 months or so.
Yeah.
So
Well, thanks for talking with me, Liam. And I'll post all your stuff below. And yeah, you're the best. Thank you so much. And it was good talking with you.
yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. I'll see you.
All right. See you.
It was so much fun talking to Liam Marshall about his incredible film work. I was blown away about his process of just walking with his client and talking to them, treating them like a real person. Even though it was a friend of his, just making someone feel normal on a shoot is so important and so inspirational that you could be walking, talking about life, enjoying life, and then snap your occasional shots, but you're pouring into that person, making them comfortable and making the shoot just better for everyone. I think that's an incredible tip for any photographer watching this, and definitely something I'm gonna take into my engagement and wedding work. So Liam, thank you so much for being on the show. Definitely follow him on Instagram at theoccasionalphotogrphr and go support him there. He's awesome. You definitely want to keep checking out his awesome film work. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the little bell to get notifications about every Film Friend Fridays that comes out. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well at OneWillCobb. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Film Friend Fridays.